Hello, and welcome to Dementia Diaries, a caregiver's journey. Tonight, I have two sisters that will be talking to us about their mother, Lilliedale. They will be sharing the challenges, experiences, and joys that they have as they care for her. So, we're going to bring on Sherry and Katina.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello,
hi, Katina. How are you?
hello. Doing well. Thank you. How are you?
Awesome. Doing well. Thank you both so much for taking your time out to share with the audience tonight about your caregiving experience with your mother. So, her name is Lily Dale.
Yes.
Now, what I would like for you to do, I want you to go back in your memory and think about when you first heard that she was experiencing issues with memories, etc., and found out that she had dementia. Sherry, what were your first thoughts? How did you handle that?
I think I was in denial for a very long time. I used to remember like it's three of us. Our sister Brenda, who's 13 years older than I am, and then me, then Katina there. And Brenda lived closer to our mother. And Brenda used to say a few things like, she's doing odd things. She's saying this was there, but it really wasn't. Or either like my niece was living with my mother and she'd say, Grandma keep fussing at me because she's saying I put this there, but she's the one that put that there and don't remember, or she took it and don't remember. And, I didn't think of it then until years later that
Mhm.
what she actually was experiencing early signs of dementia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Katina, how did handle the situation? What did you feel?
I would say denial as well, because we weren't right there with her all the time, like Sherry said, Brenda, and when we would get the calls like Sherry mentioned, me saying, no, I don't think that's what it is. I think it's this, and I agreed because we didn't want to believe it, and we had never
Mhm.
heard of anybody having dementia. So for us, it was like a foreign thing. Who gets dementia? Not our mother, you
Mhm.
know.
Right.
So therefore, it was not happening. Um, we saw her siblings, some died early, some died old, but they didn't have dementia that we knew. I think Susan,
Mhm.
one had
Okay.
dementia. And I remember my mother saying she was going to visit Susan in the nursing home and she came crying because her sister did not know her, did not remember her, and it was difficult for her to accept. We never
Right.
thought that we would have to see her
Right.
like that. Yeah, I get
Yes.
emotional.
Yes.
And there
And
was
that's
another instance
Tonight.
that I remember when, because our mother used to always, she drives everywhere. She drove everywhere, drove people wherever they needed to go. And one of our cousins, she was giving one of our cousins a ride, and my cousin called me and said, Cheryl, Aunt Lily forgot where we were or forgot how, and I'm thinking maybe she's just not feeling well.
mhm.
Anything but dementia, dementia didn't even cross my mind, you know. And I'm just thinking like, she just probably just getting old. She need to just probably stop driving, but dementia still did not cross my mind,
Mm.
Yeah.
you know.
So when
And
you
that
went to
was
the go ahead, Katina.
carry
So
on.
when she was taken to the doctor and the doctor says she has dementia, what type of dementia does she have? And what was the feelings that you had at that moment?
I think it's frontal temporal was what they told us. At first, she thought it was like a vascular dementia, But
Mm-hmm.
as we kept going in her changes that she was having, um, they pretty much told us it was like frontal temporal dementia. And that went along with her behavior changes, um, how she spoke to us, how she handled us. It was she was feisty, and she was never that way.
Mm-hmm.
Very feisty and wit. Um, she knew how to manipulate.
Okay.
Uh, she was in control, and we
Okay.
couldn't tell her anything. She was very much in control, and she was always right. Whereas before, she was very open, listening and explaining and helping people through things. But this time, she was no, it's about me. Yeah, a change.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So Sherry, did you all experience the repeating? Did she ever repeat the same thing over and over and over? I know when it came to, my mother with her, she had vascular dementia. She kept repeating things over and over, and this was like at the beginning, and it was so frustrating because you don't know what's going on, but it's frustrating. But then you got to take a step back and say, okay, this is part of the disease. She she doesn't mean to do it on purpose, so we have to just take a shift into how we handle that. So tell me, Sherry, how did you handle the repeating of things?
Um, it didn't take too long because I'm gonna just say a little history about growing up. We have cousins in our family, your family,
Mm-hmm.
our family,
Mm-hmm.
that would call all the time just to say hi. And I used to be like, you know how back in the day you could see you can still see it now, the call ID, like, oh, that's that person, or that's that person. And mommy, when they call mommy, she picks it up every time. And I'm like, why you want to talk to that person? They call every day, all day. You never know when it's going to be the last time you talk to them. That's what she always used to say. You never know when it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be the last time. And she was just so nice and just say, you never know when it's going to be the last time. And she talked to that person, those people, all the time, every time they called. So it brought me back to when she started repeating the same things over again.
Mm-hmm.
She would call Sherry, just called to see how you doing. Hang up. Bring. Hi. I just called to hear your voice. I just called to see what you. And now you just called me about a minute ago. But I always seem to answer because the
Mm-hmm.
little voice in my head reminded me when I was little and growing up. Me, and her telling me, you never know what's going to be the last time that you hear that person's voice. That I even when times when I couldn't answer the phone because I was at work or in a meeting or something like that, that she'll leave the voice message. I have so many voice messages of her hanging up saying some Sherry, it's me, it's mother. I
Mm-hmm.
have so many voice messages that I've saved, but she was repetitive about things that phone call, repetitive about keeping a purse, this old raggedy purse. She would keep it around her. She was a woman that took care of all her grandkids, so she had to know where the grandkids were. She had to know you got to either tell her that Brenda got the kids, she's gonna keep them overnight. Is that okay? Something to calm her down, to make her feel
Mm-hmm.
okay. Okay, the kids are in a safe place because she would become combative. Just repetitious things like the children, the phone calls, looking at her purse, like she had put the purse down, looking at her purse and it's wrapped around her like a sash gag. Um, the phone calls, going to the door,
Mm-hmm.
um, it was those things. Saying she ate, she didn't eat nothing. She put nothing to her
Mm-hmm.
mouth. You know,
Mm-hmm.
things like that.
So Katina, let's talk about her behavior. Tell us some examples of the things that she would do or say, and how do you handle that? How do you handle that?
Whatever she said was what was happening,
Mm-hmm.
and I allowed that to be what was happening in our presence. She if she said that. Uh, I just have one funny story. um, she felt as though if she sat outside, if any man came outside, they wanted her. They were, but she wasn't interested in them. And so she was, see, look at him coming out here. Watch him. These things were happening, and she said, "Watch when I go in the house. Watch go in there too." You know. And when I come back out, he keep watching me. He wants me. You know, those kind of things. And it's like we know that these things aren't happening, but this is. I have to go with what's happening in her
Mm-hmm.
world. So
Mm-hmm.
that was conversation she would never have with anyone if she even thought that. So that was the change in um, who she was and what was happening to her. She would, of course, very early in the morning, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, she's up and she's trying to get out the door.
Mm-hmm.
I would get a phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning from Brenda say, Lily's trying to get out the door. She won't listen to me. She's cussing me out. She's cursing me. She's saying this. She's doing that. I would get up on my bed. I would go and take her, and we'll ride around town. 3 o'clock in the morning. We're going for a drive wherever she wants to go, whatever she wants to do. We're going to do it. So it was those moments that was behavior wise was really odd. She would think I was a caretaker coming into the house to wash her up, clean her up, and get her dressed in the morning. And she told me I was a sweet girl, and she wished that her daughters were as sweet, as sweet, But I let her live in her world.
Mm-hmm. It's funny you say that because I know with my mom, I don't know if this is a trend with dementia patients or not, but my mom loved my brothers. Now she's always, she loves us all. She loves us all the same. But the brothers always been special. They always been special. But then when it came to like my husband, my brother-in-law, she just loved. She would just brighten up. The room would just brighten up when the men came around, right? But as girls, I'm not. You're not my daughter. Yes, I am. You're not my daughter. It's like, okay, okay, fine. I'm not your daughter today, but I am your daughter. So, it's interesting you say that about her going out and seeing the men, they're gonna come over here and talk to me or something like that. So that's quite interesting. So so there are three siblings, and I'm sure there are seven siblings in my family. We all did not agree to everything, to what to do, what not to do, etc. But we all knew and understood that everything we were trying to do was for her benefit, right?
Mhm.
How do you handle when you all don't agree on, whether it's she needs this medication, she doesn't need this medication, she needs this food, well, she shouldn't be eating this. How do you work through that?
Well, for me, um, we look to Tina because Tina's always Googling, always she's talking to the doctors at her job and always getting information, just researching a lot of stuff like the coconut oil we put in her food and her drinks. Um, it's never been a scientific evidence based use, but it
Mm-hmm.
seemed to produce something in her. So we was
Mm-hmm.
using things like that. So far as decision making, we all three of us come together to make a decision. Sometimes we a little nay on the yay, but in
Mm-hmm.
the end, we round up doing what we feel collectively is best for mommy. You
Okay.
know, um, I think that you know because I feel like sometimes it's just us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It kind of really is,
Mm-hmm.
but we try to, regardless of what our children say, the rest of the family say, we've learned that it has to be me, Brenda, Katina, and Sherry's decision. Make the
Mm-hmm.
best decision for mommy, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And we look at all angles of, what our decision will be and just what's the best fit for her, you know. Um, Not only that, for our lifestyles too, prime example of having to make the decision to put her in a 24-hour facility. You know, it was the hardest thing we ever had to do, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Um, but we made a collective decision um, that would be best for her because Lily wasn't really Lily anymore. Mommy wasn't
Right.
mommy anymore, you know. And we all had to work, we all had to pay bills, you know, so that it just wasn't feasible for her to be home. And we had to come together
Mm-hmm.
and make that hard decision. And then we had to come together um, to be there every single, and I'm literally talking for the last 4 years, 4 years, every single day with our mother at that nursing home. That I know when one of us walked down the hall, oh, there go one of
Mm-hmm.
Lily children, we Lily
Mm-hmm.
girl, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I just thank God that our mother raised us to be that way with one another, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just glad that our sisters, we love each other so hard that, you know, if even if one, we take turns every night we take
Mm-hmm.
turns going on each other. Yeah, who's going, who's not, you know, we're doing that. We're even going more now. Tina goes on the daytime and for lunch before she goes to work. Then me and Brenda handle the dinner times, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just it's a collective thing. If you don't come together, excuse me, if you don't come together as a family, as a unit, you know, it ain't even gonna be about the loved one anymore.
Exactly.
It's gonna everything else is gonna be out the window. It's
Mm-hmm.
hard because we all got our other lives, we got our husbands, our children. It's you know, but that's our mommy, that's our
Mm-hmm.
mother,
Yeah.
you know, and we have to, you know, do what's best. It's tiring. God knows it's tiring, but we
Mm-hmm.
have to do what's best for her.
Yes. And I commend you all for going on a daily basis, for working together, for going in to make sure she's eating or, just being there with her, having, because,
Clean, you
hmm
know,
yes,
all of that, making
because,
sure the doctor's on top of what they have to do, you know,
hmm
because especially Tina, and she comes from a kind of a, she comes from a medical background, you
hmm
know, she's on it. She's on it. I'm like, Lord, girl, will you chill out some? You know, I know the doctor's tired of you. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, she's getting it behind. You know,
exactly.
you have to be. You
You
have to
have
be.
to.
You have to
Yeah.
advocate for your loved one when they're in those type of environments. You
hmm
know, um, if not, she would have been gone 3 years ago when we first put it in there in 2022. She would have been gone by 2023. You
hmm
know, you have to advocate for them.
And it
And
makes
we
such
are
a difference. It makes such a difference for the family to be there.
mhm,
You're still, she has someone that's talking to her,
right.
you know, whether you're rubbing her hand or moving your hand because she's trying to hit you with it or, trying to stick you with your nails or whatever,
Hmm.
she has that interaction
Right.
with you.
Mm.
And I think it's good for you all as individuals as well, because you have your time with your mother. You
Right.
know, I know it's a lot, it's a struggle, but you have your time with your mother and you can say whatever it is you need to say to your mother, you want to say to her. If you want to
Mm.
sing to her, you can sing to her. What it's you and your mom time.
Right.
That is awesome because there's so many people that are put in to care and their family members don't come and visit them at all.
Hmm.
Doesn't
Hmm.
visit them at all. So yes, I do commend you all for doing that on a daily basis.
Yeah,
That
we
is
have I'm
wonderful.
sorry to cut you off, Janet, but we have a couple of grandkids that we'll call them, be like, "Hey, we need y'all to go here for dinner for us tonight." Or I've been to Brenda been this last straight 3 nights. Tina's away and Sherry's sick. Can somebody, they'll come in, when we need them to come in, the grandchildren to fill
Mm-hmm.
in. But for the most part, it's just me, Brenda, me, and Katina.
Mm-hmm.
That's this thing.
So
Yeah,
tell me,
Katina missing.
she'll be back. So tell me about. I know one of the things my mom loved was sweets. She used to have my sister used to give her some lollipops, and she would not let that lollipop go at all. So, Katina, as you join back, I'm talking about the sweets, right? My mom used to have a lollipop, and I mean, you had to really just take it away from her. So, tell me about Lily. How is she with the sweets? Does she love the sweets as well?
Yeah, she used to love some of it.
I can hear you.
Okay. So, just for the audience to know, Katina's in the airport at the moment, so she will be coming back once she gets a moment. But Sherry, go ahead and tell us about the sweetness.
Oh, the lady loves sweet. Um, right now, for the last 2 years, her food has been pureed. Because she
Mm-hmm.
would can't eat salads and everything. And when you feed her like regular food, like rice, turkey, regular food, nothing sweet, she,
Mm-hmm.
it takes longer for her to, get the food. It's a chore giving
Uh-huh.
her food that's not sweet. But if you give her something sweet, she like, open her mouth real wide,
Mm-hmm.
like they give her like the parade chocolate chip cookie. She open her mouth real wide. Katina would have like little sugar free mint, and she would just chunk, 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 chunk on it. All you would hear is she loves sweet. Love it.
And I
Love
think
it.
and I think you were saying, or either Katina was saying, that she also gives her some type of Is it a yogurt?
Yeah,
Um.
it's like the tartlets. Parents buy it for the little kids, little go-go squeezy things, little go-go thing. They have applesauce. They have like some of them have actual food in it, like carrots and
Mhm.
rice or turkey or something. But she loves the little. Now she likes cold stuff. At
Oh.
first, at first her puree food had to be warm before she
Mhm.
eat it. Now it has to. Then now, like the last year, Katina, things have got. She has to eat it cold, you know. But now that she's not really eating too much anyway, we just been making sure she's getting the antioxidants and
Mhm.
Katina's been doing what is that called, Katina? The B12. Is it B12? I forgot what Tina's putting
B12.
into it. I think it's B12 and into her. It's like an energy thing into her juice and things
Okay.
like that. A lot of times she won't even swap, won't even pull to drink from a straw. So sometimes you have to, just dip a little bit in her mouth and then rough a cheese
Mhm.
so that she can remind herself to swallow the food. That works sometimes,
Mhm.
but yeah, the way she eats changes a lot, has changed a lot. Um,
So, what would you say would be one of the most difficult things you've encountered as she's progressed in the disease? What has been the most challenging part?
I'd
um,
say watching it,
yeah,
watching her change,
Mhm.
deteriorate, watching losing her is the most difficult thing.
Mhm.
yeah,
Changing
you're
from
right.
this very active woman
Yeah,
now someone that's in the bed,
hmm,
not eating the way. Yes, I can. Yeah, definitely.
yeah. She was such a vibrant, full of energy, full of spunk lady, cared for every and anybody. To now, the roles are reversed, and
Hmm.
we're doing all the caring for her. To her not eating, to her she even had bed sores. She have a bed sore
Hmm.
and don't know if she's in pain or not. I'm wonder
Hmm.
I always wonder, can she verbalize she's in pain? Just because she's not moaning, is she really is she could
Right.
she still be in pain? You know, things like that. So it's I think yes, I would 100% agree with my sister with saying that watching her like that and being unable to do anything.
Hmm. Hmm.
Nothing,
Yep.
nothing at all.
And also, as you're caring for her, there are some days where I mean there are a lot of laughs. You
Mhm.
know, I can recall one time with my mom, and I always say this. She wanted me to sing to her, so I was singing to her. I mean, I'm really into singing, right? Third song, third
Uh-huh.
song, and she looks at me and said, "You can stop now." And I'm saying, I mean, I'm singing, and she said, "You can stop now." And I said, "Ooh." Okay. She says, "Yeah, you can stop. I'm done." I said, "Okay, fine. Okay, fine." So tell us about something that's very that you will never forget. That's funny.
Yeah. So one day, she was already. It was in the first nursing home she was in, and at this time she was pretty much moving around and everything. Let me take you back a little bit. Mind you, mommy was the one who babysit all the grands, all the great grand neighborhood kids, whatever. So I had two of my oldest grandsons are biracial, and
Mm-hmm.
she babysat them from the time they came out until they were like three, I guess. So
Yeah,
one
until
day,
she couldn't.
yeah, until she couldn't. So one day we was at the first nursing home she was in, and they were just running around and running around, running around, and she kept looking, looking. She said, "Shy, little white children right there running around."
I
I
knew
said,
that's.
"Mommy, they're your great grandchildren." She just kept they running around. I said, "Mom, that's Sean and Carter. They're your great grandchildren." She said, "They little white children." I said, "Yes, Mom, they're your great grandchildren that you took care of." And I just thought that was so hilarious. So hilarious, you know? Like, Lord, who are
Oh my
white
god!
children?
I can imagine. I can imagine. I can imagine that. Yeah.
Yes.
Who are these people? You know,
Uh-huh.
what are they
Uh-huh.
doing here? Get them out. Go somewhere and sit down. Don't have any home training at all. It's, that's what they used to say. No home training. Oh my
And there
goodness.
was another one. I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this about our niece Tia. Don't.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, Brenda's daughter Tia, our niece, our oldest niece,
Mm-hmm.
mommy's
Okay.
oldest granddaughter. She dressed like she has very short hair,
Oh,
and mommy, she would be there with mommy during the daytime when mommy first started staying with Brenda, right, her oldest
Mm-hmm.
daughter, and mommy would go outside and wouldn't come back in the house, and she'd be fussing with our oldest niece Tia, saying this man talking about, you know, telling me to go in a house, and I don't know who this man is, who this man think they talking to, and I'm, all along, all along, she's talking about her granddaughter,
Mm-hmm.
Brenda's oldest daughter,
Mm-hmm.
Tia, because her hair is so short, she thinks she a boy.
Oh my god. This man better leave me alone. Tell
Yes,
me what to
right?
do.
Yes. It's
That
been a
is.
lot of funny stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She'll smack you.
Oh my gosh.
It's been a lot of funny stuff with her. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to tell the caregiver that would come in with my mom. I says, okay, she got a nice right hook. So you got to bob and weave because if you get it in there, you're going to get hit. So yes, yes,
Oh
indeed.
goodness! And when we come out to the nursing home when she first got into there, we would come up there. They have a whole story to tell us that mommy went into somebody else's room and told them to get out her house. This is her house. And it's not even her room. Her room all the way down the hall somewhere. It was always something that Lilliedale was doing. She was like, she always thought she was on her porch. Because that's what she used to do. In the
Sit
summertime
on
when
the
it's
porch.
warm, she'd sit on the porch, watch the kids. So yeah, it's been a lot of funny moments. Like she say she didn't ate, it was a chore to get her to take a bath.
Mm-hmm.
And she'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
I wash my poo poo, you wash yours. And She used to say some stuff out her mouth.
Oh my
The
goodness.
chore getting her in the tub, in the shower. But it was some funny. She went to sleep with her purse. She
Mm.
was always worried somebody gonna take something out her purse. But it's been some funny times with her. Her laying us out for no reason.
The only
So
thing you can
funny
do is
thing.
laugh. That's all you can
Yes, yes, yes,
do.
yes, yes,
So,
yes.
but before we go, I just want to ask the other caregivers that's going to watch this, what what would you say to them as they're taking care of their loved one? What would be one thing that you would tell them? Katina, I see you're up and you may be getting ready to get in line for the plane or something. I don't.
Answer first.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to, to love them hard, to spend every moment with them, to allow them to be who they are in their dementia. I think that's very important, not to argue with them, argue back at them, but just live with them in their dementia. You will get so much more time, so much more.
Yes. And Sherry, what would you?
Piggyback off of Katina. Yeah, just be there with wherever they are. You be wherever they are. Whatever they're thinking, whatever, just go along with them. Far as make sure you get your parents or loved ones get the power of attorney. Get things like legal stuff in place
Mm-hmm.
forefront.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're going through a lot of stuff now with that.
Mm-hmm.
Things we didn't know. You
Right.
know. Um, yeah, and go on the websites and look at, call the insurance companies, call and see what help is out there. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, Even reach out on Facebook if you have to. Anybody know anything about this? There are a lot of groups on Facebook and IG about dementia and things like that. They can send you the resources that are out there because a lot with us, we kept getting the door closed on us. Um, the social workers were lacking in a sense. Um, and I think that we just have to weigh more on these insurance companies.
Mm-hmm.
Get us get our loved ones the help that they need. From the insurance that they've been paying for. The
All these
great
years.
help. Yeah, all these
Mm-hmm.
years, exactly,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. But the main thing is to love on your loved one. Um, at all times. Be patient with them. It's not their fault.
Right.
Um, just love on them.
Yep.
Don't get angry or upset, and keep praying. Keep praying.
That's
Because that's
it.
the best and close friend. And stay close with your family.
Yep.
So,
That is.
take your time. If it's two, three, I don't care how many of y'all gotta stay close. Because somebody gonna get burned out, and we don't want that. If one
Mhm.
get burned out, eventually everybody's gonna get burned out, and that's gonna leave our loved one with no one.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, stay together, stay combined together.
Yes. So thank you for that. And thank you both for joining me tonight. I really
Thank you for
appreciate it.
having us.
We appreciate it. Thank you for
Thank you
allowing us
for
to be on
having
your
us. This was
program.
great, Janet. This was really
Thank,
great.
thank you. So I have a new sponsor for my podcast, and because you have joined me tonight, and I will send one for your sister Brenda as well.
Okay.
You all will get a dementia caregiver kit that
Oh
is
wow!
for
Thank
you.
you.
It's
Thank
exactly
you.
for you, to help you stay calm and mellow and to
Oh,
feel
that's so
good.
nice.
So yeah, so B, I will get your information later, and we'll have those items shipped out to you. So thank you so much again for
Thank
joining
you
us.
for having
Thank
us.
you.
It's been great. It's been great. Thank you. Anytime you need us on here, just give us a call. Thank
Awesome.
you, Janet.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you,
All right.
sister.
Take care. All
All
right.
right. Bye bye.
Mhm. So thank each and every one of you for joining us tonight. to listen to Sherry and Katina's story as they talk about their mother, Lilliedale. They shared some valuable information. Most of all, for families, it's important to work together. It's important to love your loved one. And it's also important to understand that this is a disease. This is not something that they're doing by choice. You know, although you get frustrated and you may feel as if you don't know what to do or you can't do it anymore. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can do it. You can see it through. You can see it through. I have a scripture that we say we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. You can do this. Stay prayed up. Get you the rest that you can get when you're able to get it. And just like my sister Jackie would say, woosah, just woosah. Inhale, exhale. So, Dementia Diaries is a program of WIM's Faith in Action Ministries. And if you would like to be a guest on our show, please reach out to us at DementiaDiariesPodcast@gmail.com, or you can reach out to us at WIMsFaithinActionMinistries.org. Thank you again for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. Have a good night.